LSU in the stunning all-purples today, trimmed in just a touch of gold, and here we go. Back in Thanksgiving, but both teams very different. Rivers, active already, comes up with the steal. Sanaya Rivers, a veteran who started her career at South Carolina, and here's Maddie Hayes, their leading rebounder and a great three-point shooter. And Morrow, the big three. What will Poa and Smith do? Sometimes it's the supplementary players outside of the big three that make such a difference, and there's one of them right there. Johnson slicing in, no foul call, but the follow is good. Smith has a couple of buckets.
And you mentioned
national championship run, and they're letting them play so far. LSU, it is now Samaya Smith 6 and NC State 3.
Well, Samaya Smith was 9 for 9 in that second round matchup from the floor against Florida State. And if they're going to heavy help on Anissa Morrow, Smith
coming in very confident. Kim Mulkey talking about the redshirt sophomore. Michaela Williams, nice mid-range.
Knocking it down, and Michaela Williams, a great job. She can pull that three. She's been hot.
Poa does not have numbers, so she's going to wait and then take it in by herself. Brooks got a hand on the ball.
They do. They're a team that has been incredibly disciplined. That has been a staple of Westmore's teams and their defensive philosophy, but you cannot allow Williams that much time or space.
Inbound again by Brooks. James had it blocked by Williams. James takes it right back. Brooks against Poa, and another block. Oh, the defense showing up.
Bodies on the interior, and then a one-on-one individual effort by last tier. She deserves. I mean, again, talking about a player who's come in, who's played so many different positions for this NC State program, but who impacts their ability to win.
Morrow went 1 for 2 from the line, but Williams rescued with the offensive rebound, and that seemed like an impossible angle, but Morrow got it to fall anyway. NC State has missed 5 straight shots. The drought is over.
Some help to the ball handler, so 1 or 2 dribble punch is going to get a wide open look.
Hayes with a couple of threes so far, and a nice dish and a drive to the basket.
Noticed when she was out with injury those last few games of the regular season, they needed to move the ball better.
We just talked about how Morrow hasn't taken a lot of threes. She hits that one. 3 of 12 from the floor. Rivers, a little hesitation, and then got it to roll in. In her senior season.
And you can see they're icing or downing that side pick and roll, and Anissa Morrow gets another 3.
Playing some great defense. Cheyenne Day Wilson in the ball game. Was at Miami last year and Duke before that. Missed wide left. Not great shooting percentage for Day Wilson this season.
She's one of those that can get hot, though.
So we have a minute to go now in this first quarter. Williams, that was nice.
Yeah, that's a great move. Able to split the defenders. Zoe Brooks was kind of in a gray area.
NC State, some of the best guards in the country, veteran guards. Rivers somehow was able to keep it going and get the basket. NC State, who has been down by as many as 11, now back down by 6. Rivers to Zam Jones. Nailed it.
That's what Zam Jones can do. She can be instant offense.
Help down low. How about some confidence for the true freshman?
They're just coming down in transition. No, not a lot of pressure on the ball. Williams tries to get over it.
Zam Jones with a couple of threes. Morrow with that determined look on her face. Scores again.
Because he wasn't getting a lot from Zoe Brooks early in this ball game. Bring in Zam Jones. Give yourself a little punch from the bench. I don't think anybody can stop Sanaya Rivers one-on-one. Use that screen. Create an opportunity at the rim or to get an open look.
LSU takes advantage with Smith. Maddie Cox with 3 rebounds since coming into the game. And then the long-range jumper, and Zam Jones looks over the crowd again. Down Johnson fumbled it, was able to get it back. And then the defense by Zoe Brooks got a hand on the ball. She doesn't have numbers, but she's got Zam Jones for the 2.
At this time of the year, it's focused on your primary offensive threats. To get offense from other people like Zam Jones, like Caitlin Gilbert is so important.
NC State has scored the last 11 points, all of them from Zam, until Trigger broke that string.
Even though Zoe Brooks didn't make that shot, I like the attack.
It's a 3-on-2. But Brooks had Jones over on the perimeter, but took it herself. She had missed her first 3 shots before that basket. Now Gilbert ties it up. Trigger with the offensive rebound. Hayes,
nice pass.
That's what you were talking about for Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, she can impact the game in so many ways. It's much more difficult to rebound when you're playing a zone, so when Morrow's out, gives them an opportunity to give a different look.
And that's Gilbert, who has been terrific off the bench in this game.
I think LSU at times, we've seen the last 2 games in this tournament that they have been very good at moving the basketball, but they do have a tendency at times to get stagnant. And Zoe Brooks, what a good start. But Zoe Brooks is somebody who needs to get rolling for the Wolfpack.
A little bit of a slow start in this game, but now she's got 8 points. This is the biggest lead of the evening for the Pack, but that disappears. Samaya Smith had 10 points in the first half. Kid from Toronto, 0 for 3 in the first half, and Williams with a chance at a 3-point play. Isaiah James pleads her case, but picks up the foul.
Well, NC State trying to keep Michaela Williams going to her left, and you can finish with a little bit of contact.
Williams with the miss, but it's tipped out by Smith. That's Anissa Morrow doing Anissa Morrow things.
Who's relentless pursuing the basketball, but also studies. I mean, she studies film. She watches how the ball comes off of the rim. She watches.
Do you think great rebounders are born or made?
I think great rebounders are born. I think that they have an instinct for the ball. I think they have a relentless effort, a motor in them to just pursue.
Williams into Morrow. One of those moves. The double comes from James, who's playing with 2 fouls. Took a little bit of a risk, but it paid off. And now James with the ball fake and couldn't get the finish. She's pleading for a foul. Johnson finally scores. NC State only had 2 fouls in the first half, both of them on Madison Hayes. Morrow with the spin, the basket, and the foul.
It's too difficult of a matchup for Madison Hayes to play behind.
LSU up by 4. Already scoring as many points in this third quarter as they did in the second. Samaya Smith with the block. Johnson found a little bit of daylight. Another offensive rebound. Another double-double for Morrow. She blows a kiss to the LSU fans. Morrow by herself outscoring NC State in this quarter, 9-5. That's a big 3 by Maddie Cox.
Louisiana Tech for the great, and with the great Leon Barnell.
LSU attacking the basket. I mentioned that NC State only committed 2 fouls in that first half. They're getting a lot more here by attacking.
They're not a team that typically fouls a lot, but right here, great job of executing.
Isaiah James back in the game. There she is with the ball. Rivers hits it. That's a 3. Rivers just missed 3 of her 4 3 attempts. Morrow unstoppable. James got her hand into the passing lane. She runs the floor very well and finishes it.
Oh, good job right here of Isaiah James getting a deflection. Leads to the steal and one of the few easy buckets they've been able to get.
Looks a little hesitation and gets it to Will. Very athletic family. Lauren Cox, who's very good for Baylor, her older sister. Baylor, the team that Ole Miss beat to get here to the Sweet 16, and there she is again. Brooks attacks and got a block from behind, but the ball will stay with the Pack. Johnson with the block. James gets it over to Brooks, who put up a teardrop over Smith. Kaylin Gilbert. Nope. With Morrow. Sam Jones, who gave them such a lift in the first half with the miss. Cox with another rebound. Brooks! Yes, Zoe Brooks.
Well, Pam, we've seen this throughout the course of the season, the ability of Zoe Brooks to take over games and take over moments. Her body control is... Well, she had that career-high 33 against Notre Dame in that double overtime game. 14 of 14 from the free throw line as well.
Rivers with the block. Jones. Foul. Lisa Morrow with yet another rebound and bucket. Day Wilson inside to the unstoppable Anissa Morrow. But right now, the most important number is 2. That is the lead for NC State. Winner gets the winner of Ole Miss, UCLA. Maddie Cox! Maybe the most unlikely hero.
Staying ready throughout the course of the season. I'm sure she's been frustrated with her lack of playing time, but in this big moment, she's been huge for the Wolfpack.
And then Michaela Williams. Williams slices in for another bucket.
Really make the defense work.
Brooks saw a little bit of daylight, drove on Gilbert, and got the friendly bounce.
That's a heck of a shot by Zoe Brooks.
Williams open and buries it. Brooks goes into the lane and another one. Zoe Brooks gets it back to 3. Williams inside to Smith. Brooks just slapped away by Kaylin Gilbert.
1-point lead right here to get to the rim, and watch this play by Kaylin Gilbert, and then the extra effort.
Williams has had the hot hand, and this time she drives and puts the Tigers back on top. She scored 8 of LSU's last 10 points. Brooks continues to just take the... Brooks. Guarded by Shepard, and an offensive foul! That trio has scored 68 of LSU's 78 points.
Well, Samaya Smith has been outstanding in this NCAA tournament to be a different big 3, but the interior presence and that post tandem has been dominant.
And with that, no fouls necessary for LSU, and fittingly, Anissa Morrow, the best rebounder in the country, comes up with the final miss, and for the 3rd straight year, the Tigers roll into the Elite Eight.